I'm just slow. That is nobody's fault but my own.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers at 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 109. As always, Mike answered lots of great questions from the community and gave us 2 1.0 game release leaks. And we're going to start off with a little announcement, and he is going to answer a question on Pinnacle Bosses. Takes him a little bit to get through this. You will see. Mike, take it away.
There's a cool there's a build contest that's happening.
Oh, really?
That I should have way better info for, and like something that I can put on screen. So Kane, if you're here and you have,
I'll put it on screen for you.
Something I can just put on screen for this, that would be great. I would
got you,
do that,
bro.
but I'm just going to talk about it right now. We can bring it up again later. Thank you, Mr. Fibble, for 8 months in a row. Thank you. That's great. And good timing. So we've got a build contest happening. There are 3 teams for this build contest, one being led by Vision GL, one by Perry the Pig, and one by Aaron Action RPG.
I know that guy.
So if you want more info on the build contest specifically, head on over to one of those people, and I'm sure they can help you figure out what's going on. We're doing it in combination with Last Epoch tools and Max Roll, because they've got their stuff to the early access to the API stuff that's hooked in. And whoever wins the build contest, I'm going to actually be playing that build on stream on October the 20th. I probably should have led with that. So not next week, but the week after that. Whoever wins the build contest is the build I'm going to play on stream.
If you want more info on the build contest, I will link my video announcement at the end of this video. Mike, you did fine. You did good.
Yeah, so go check out those creators and you'll be able to submit a build. Vision GL, Perry the Pig, Aaron Action RPG. All sorts of cool stuff.
Give him a second now.
If any of you have like a sweet little graphic that shows all of that info on it and want to send it to me, I will put it on stream and I would be so happy.
I already took care of it, sir.
So happy. Or just like link to it in chat. There's probably like a link in chat that's I'm just ignoring because I'm so far behind.
Be patient. Here it comes.
I was talking about stuff and I just like totally flaked. I'm still answering this like Uber Pinnacle Boss content stuff. Yes, we are designing Pinnacle Bosses. They will not be available at 1.0. They will be available after that. Hopefully very quickly after that. And it will be static difficulty content that is very, very difficult. So ways to benchmark how much you're actually doing.
Smart.
I think it's the sort of thing like people quite often ask, like, is this build viable? And it's a very difficult question to ask because we have so little static difficulty content. But this will help with that. This will solve that completely.
I've been seeing this request more and more, a dodge roll mechanic.
Any chance of adding a dodge roll like D4 PoE2 Lost Ark? We've talked about this quite a bit. I go in pretty depth on last stream about the details of this. We actually got so far as actually adding it to internal playtest builds. We got around to concepting specific modifiers for it and how that would happen. We put together a couple different systems to try it out. Ultimately, we decided against it, but that doesn't mean it can't ever come back as a possibility. Right now, it's not something we're planning. But it is something that's sort of been on our radar for a while.
On their radar, internally testing, currently no green light, but that could change. A community member you may know, Brow, tells me all the time, I need to get a Steam Deck. Steam Deck for Last Epoch?
Any plans for specific Steam Deck support? You have to use special shaders, and it's a bit choppy right now. Yeah, that's in the eventually category, in the hopefully one day category, in the oh wouldn't it be nice category. We do not have any plans to support any additional platforms other than the ones we are already supporting at 1.0 launch later this year. After we launch, we will start looking into other platforms that we can support and investigating what needs, like what's required of us to do that, how much work it's going to be to support those platforms, how many potential players are going to be getting access to the game if we add those platforms. Now, the certain ones are a lot easier to add than others. So Steam Deck is a relatively low difficulty additional platform to add for us because it's essentially just our Linux platform with perpetual controller support, really. So the chances of it like being high on the list moves up, that sort of thing. The other platforms that we're looking at are, I'd say most heavily other than Steam Deck, are consoles. But that could be a while before that happens, because
I get asked about consoles all the time, and I do think that's farther out. Steam Deck feels right around the corner. Teaser number 1, and I'm actually going to remove my camera.
Here, while I'm doing this. Haha, how to buy time. Check it out, it's a cool thing.
Look at this new art. Storm the castle up here. I don't know why. When I look at this, think of Bowser's castle. And anyone else see that? Another common question I've been getting is around sets inside of Last Epoch. Go ahead, Mike.
To follow up on set items, the possibility of adding legendary potential to them an option. We've talked about this quite a few times. That was the first thing that was, like, the instant we announced legendary potential. We had that suggestion every 10 minutes. You come in, So like we've definitely seen it and talked about it quite a bit. We don't have plans to give set items legendary potential. There's a few different reasons for that. One of the big reasons is just the sheer length of set items already. Like we had to create a system by which item tooltips will shrink themselves, like the scale of the tooltip.
They're huge.
Just to accommodate some item tooltips on screen. And that's before putting legendary potential on the set item and give it the extra affixes once it turns into a legendary set item. It's just like there's so much that can show up on those already. That we're not huge on the idea of adding more stuff to that if we can avoid it. Now, that's not really a good enough reason on its own, because you can solve that other ways.
Correct.
But it does help us lean that way.
Carry on.
Legendary potential setups, yes, right. We also just want them to be, unique and different and interesting. So we want to, we think we can solve this problem through creative design rather than just changing the way the UI is and having them be roughly the same as unique items. So we want set items to feel like a different core item type and not just be uniques that have a set affix on them. It's a big part of it. Having them stand as their own item type is really important to us. So having the way that they interact with your build at endgame be different than the way legendary items do is really important to us as well.
Sweet. What Mike is about to say will change endgame progression for the better so much. I cannot wait for this update. Listen to this.
Corruption. Yes. So that's what I was saying about earlier about there was a mention of a build that was very high tier. We are really looking to have corruption be the to be able to, okay, well, how do I rephrase this? Right now, you can have a build and you can say this build can do 1,000 corruption.
Okay.
But only if you take very specific and careful things in the monolith to make it just barely work at such high corruption.
Only take these modifiers.
we really want you to be able to look at a build and say, hey, this build can do 400 corruption, and have a good sense at how powerful it is right away. And one of the main ways we're looking at doing that is by putting more power emphasis, more difficulty emphasis on the. I should have got that quest. Whatever. Putting more difficulty emphasis on the actual corruption itself than the modifiers that are going into it.
Yes. Sounds like such a little thing, but right now when you are going through Endgame, you are always looking at the modifiers to not take the bad ones, instead of just progressing and trying to push as much corruption as possible, because the modifiers is what makes it so difficult, not really the corruption number, and they plan on flip-flopping that. It will change monolith progression so much, and in my opinion, for the better. Changing the way you look.
Are you planning cosmetic stuff like changing color and appearance other than the cosmetics from the microtransactions? I asked for my wife, otherwise she won't play and need my peace and quiet. Please make that possible.
That is funny.
We don't have any immediate plans for that. It won't be in 1.0. I don't think. I did see some code that was talking about something like that, but
interesting.
I don't know if it's actually planned as a feature, or if it's in or not, or if it's just an experiment thing, or if it was like a tool designed to make alternative visual versions of items. It's a style of stuff we're looking into, but I don't know if it's actually scheduled or planned for 1.0.
That would be neat. All right, everyone, we have come to the end of Dev Chat 109, but don't worry, I have one more teaser to show you, and it's unequivocally the best of the stream. And I just want to be clear, I am guessing a new unique item, but I sincerely have no idea what this is. Mike, as always, thank you for continuing your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. It is such a breath of fresh air having a studio that cares so much about connecting with the people that actually play their game. I know it sounds crazy. 2 asks at the end of this video. Ask number 1, I'm hoping today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. We are currently on the path to 40,000 subs. We're approaching 39,200, and we're hoping we can get to 40,000. But again, only if you think I've earned it. Ask number 2, check out my Patreon. I get asked all the time, what's the best way to support? And Patreon is it. Thank you to the first 80 members that have signed up. You get access to the bonus hour, the Patreon or the podcast. You get access to the VIP lounge where we could chit chat every day. Access to live stream audio, video with me. So many goodies. Best place for this to work. That's all I've got. Mike, take it away with the final teaser.
And right on time. Oh my gosh, I forgot the last teaser. I have another teaser here for you. My goodness. It's perfect timing because I just died right at the very end. Here we go. It's another teaser. It's a cool thing. This is the one I was most excited to show off. The other one's pretty sweet. I really want to get a large group of like a wallpaper pack together because we have so much nice images that are at such high res, but we don't have them released anywhere. But this is something. It's a ring. Who knows what it actually does? See more questions I can rattle off. We're gonna do 10 minutes of questions or until I get to the bottom. So with the stun changes, will we expect Erasing Strike to also erase enemies' ability to move? Probably not, but maybe. We can do these streams after release of 1.0. That's the plan. Thank you, Mike. Sorry for exposing you to my math brain. I don't remember which question it was, but that's okay. I like math brain. I find the rogue dancing blades ability to remind me of Riven from LoL. Yep, absolutely. Was there inspiration drawing from her mechanics, and why can't I animation cancel her stuff to do more damage? This would add more mechanical depth to that skill, which for a Riven fan like me would be a cool master over time combos. Would be cool too. No, we're not planning on having animation canceling be a DPS increase probably anywhere in the game. It's just too it's a fantastic mechanic in MOBAs, and I just don't think it works very well in ARPGs.